My name is Mwendwa. I'm grateful that you ask who I am, because then I'm able to tell you that it begins with knowing our names, then we can be able to talk about everything else that is in our lives. For me, the introduction of this name didn't come until I was much older, when I understood that really the names that we are given mean so much more than we can imagine. When my parents called me these names, they sounded, it's like just anyone else what you're called. But later in life, when I started to understand, and my father, the fatherhood of God, introduced me to who I was and let me know that names are not just what they are, I began to ask God, who am I? Why am I here? Because I understood I'm not a mistake. Why was I born where I was born? Why was I brought up in the space that I was brought up in? Why do I act the way I act? Then I understand everything is pegged on that name. And I'm saying this because when I tracked my entire life, I realized it all sits in that name. My life represents exactly that, the mercy and love. That's what it surrounds. I love to love. When God asked me to begin the company New Earth Limited, it started with the question of what is the name of the organization. The beauty about understanding your name is because you're able to ask in every circumstance that you get into, you put God first, not put him in the middle when you've already begun the thing that you're beginning. So when I was looking for a company to do eco-cleaning products, I asked God, what is the company? What is the name of the company? And I remember sitting with one of my brothers and just sitting and saying every single name that came to mind was in it. And then in the middle of the night, it came to us and it was New Earth. Then God spoke about Revelations 21. And from that moment on, then every single thing that was able to form that New Earth was Revelations 21. We knew there is a time that will come that the old earth and the old heaven will be folded away, and then a new earth comes to life. But we wanted to know, what does that look like? We asked God, so what is this about? And then he began to speak about all things being made new. And that conversation stayed on, and the company actually did not do anything for the longest of time until recently, when God again began to speak and say, all things, the time has come. And we all understand that in the dispensation of the fullness of time, certain things must happen. God began to speak about, can all things be made new in Kenya? For the longest time, I had heard my father speak about this land as a land of manifestation. The beauty about remembering the covenant made with fathers is because God watches over those covenants to come to pass. So when I used to hear this is a land, and you say this is a land of manifestations, I would say, what does that even look like? Because the land of manifestations, which is Kenya, is a people. It's not just the land, it's not the ground that we are walking on. We make the country Kenya. So when I heard it's a land of manifestations, I began to ask God, what does that look like for me in the land of Kenya, the land that you call the land of manifestation? The Unveiling the Kenya event is a platform by God to come and unveil the new Kenya. There will be a runway. On that runway, there will be the female side, or the women in this nation, the God that will be walking down the runway to representing the different counties, the 47 counties. How will they be walking is not fashion like any other. It is a mindset that understands there's a newness that is coming forth. It's a mindset that understands, as I walk down the runway, I'm walking carrying my county. I'm walking understanding people who have left of themselves and have said, this runway is purposeful. It is so that the birthing of my county can be birthed. When all the counties are birthed, then we can come together and be the body that makes Kenya. So it is beautiful. We look forward to see what God does after that. But the announcement, we're making the announcement because we would love every Kenyan to be ready, to be prepared, because there's a beauty about being ready for the timing of God. So that even on that day, as you watch the runway, whether it is on streaming, you stream the runway, then you understand this is not a day for just the event. It's a day for Kenyans. It's a day for us. It's a day for the new mindset. And you're able to see, even when you're in the space where you are, asking yourself, will these circumstances change? Will the environment change? Traditions have dictated my life. Culture has dictated my life. You'll be able to answer the question, will this
The question that God asked Ezekiel, will these dry bones live?
So I'm going to conclude with this. O God of all creation, bless this our land and nation. Justice be our shield and defender. May we dwell in unity, peace and liberty. Plenty be found within our borders. Let's go back even to our national anthem and understand, why was it written that way? Why were those words written? What do they mean? Because they were not written for just a vast ground. They were written for people. So our national anthem is meant to be a manifestation of our lives. So welcome to Unveiling the New Kenya.